Are you losing muscle no matter how well you eat or exercise? After 60, muscle loss, called sarcopenia, is more aggressive due to hormonal shifts and metabolic slowdown. As a doctor who's treated muscle loss for over 15 years, I've seen one hidden culprit ruin progress: the wrong foods. In this video, you'll discover 5 surprising foods that slow or block muscle recovery and growth, plus a bonus non-food trick that helps your muscles rebuild while you sleep. Let's begin with a breakfast favorite that might be silently breaking down your muscles: cereal with added sugar. Most people reach for a colorful box of cereal, thinking it's a quick and harmless way to start the day. But for older adults, especially those trying to preserve muscle mass and energy levels, cereal with added sugar can silently work against you. One of the biggest problems is how it causes a sharp spike in blood sugar, which leads to a large release of insulin. This might sound harmless, but insulin surges like that actually shut down the pathways your body uses to repair and build muscle. Without amino acids present to buffer this effect, the body struggles to regain its anabolic balance, especially after a night of fasting. You might not feel the damage instantly, but over time it can show up as fatigue, weak muscles, or creeping belly fat. Most commercial cereals also lack the essential amino acids your body needs to trigger protein synthesis. Even if the label says whole grain or fortified, don't assume it means it's supporting your health. Often, these cereals are enriched with synthetic versions of vitamins, like folic acid or iron, which many older adults don't absorb efficiently due to changes in gut function. They're also packed with high fructose corn syrup, phosphates that weaken bones, and maltodextrin, which may spike blood sugar even faster than table sugar. Have you checked your cereal box lately to see if any of these are listed? Now let's talk numbers. In 1 cup, the average sweetened cereal contains around 12 to 18 grams of sugar. That's close to 5 teaspoons. Protein is almost non-existent, usually less than 2 grams, and sodium often crosses 190 milligrams. If you're eating this without adding a side of eggs or protein-rich dairy, you're setting your muscles up for loss rather than maintenance. And here's a crucial point. Many people fall for the whole grain trap. Just because the box says it doesn't mean the cereal has fiber. If it has less than 3 grams of fiber per serving, that whole grain claim means nothing. Always read the label, especially the added sugar section. Don't skip it. If you're craving a comforting breakfast that actually fuels your muscles, make a simple bowl of steel-cut oats. Cook half a cup in unsweetened almond milk. Once it's soft, stir in a tablespoon of chia seeds for omega-3s, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon to help with blood sugar, 5 crushed walnuts for healthy fats, and a scoop of unflavored whey protein. Add blueberries if you like them. This combo provides a complete amino acid profile, supports digestion, and stabilizes energy all morning. Most older adults do well with about half a cup of uncooked oats per day. That's around 150 to 180 calories, depending on the milk and toppings. Tufts University found that older adults who ate a diet high in added sugars had lower muscle density and strength over time. And based on 15 years working with seniors, I've consistently seen improvements in morning energy and faster recovery from minor injuries once sugary cereals are replaced with high-protein options, from a sugary start to an air-filled snack that seems healthy but lacks every nutrient your muscles cry out for. Let's talk about rice cakes. Before we keep going, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from and what your main muscle goal is: strength, tone, or just staying mobile longer. If keeping muscle strong as you age is your focus, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. And if this is helpful so far, type 1 in the comments, or 0 if not. At first glance, rice cakes look like a guilt-free snack, low in calories, fat-free, easy to grab. But under the surface, they can wreak havoc on your metabolism, especially if you're over 60. Their glycemic index is a staggering 91, meaning they spike blood sugar nearly as fast as straight glucose. That rapid spike leads to a crash, raising insulin and increasing fat storage without doing anything for muscle recovery. And because they lack the amino acid leucine, the one your body absolutely needs to kickstart muscle protein synthesis, they do more harm than good. Each cake offers barely half a gram of protein, about 7 grams of carbs, 0 fiber, and nothing meaningful in terms of micronutrients. That's why we call them empty foods. They fill your stomach, but leave your body starving for nutrients. Think about it. If you're pairing a rice cake with a coffee and calling it breakfast, where's the nourishment? Where's the fuel to keep your muscles from breaking down during the day? For older adults, these snacks can accelerate muscle loss, especially if you're not compensating with protein in other meals. Sarcopenia, or age-related muscle wasting, gets worse with diets built around snacks like this. And when used as a quick bite under stress or between errands, they may trigger cortisol spikes that further break down muscle. How often do you reach for a snack that's all carbs and no substance? One more thing, flavored versions might look tempting but are even worse. They often sneak in monosodium glutamate, artificial colorings, and added sugar, turning a bad snack into something potentially inflammatory. Always check the ingredient list, especially if the name sounds like a dessert. Instead, go for something that gives back. Rye crackers topped with natural peanut butter offer fiber, protein, and healthy fats. Or try boiled egg slices over sprouted seed toast for a savory, muscle-supporting mini meal. If you're buying packaged snacks, aim for at least 3 grams of protein and 2 grams of fiber per serving, and skip anything puffed, dyed, or flavored unnaturally. What snacks have you relied on that you're now rethinking? I'd love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts below. If this video is helping you hold on to muscle or get it back, hit the like button. Not just for me, but for others who are losing strength and looking for real answers. That one click helps more people find information that actually works. Now, let's go from bland to sweet and uncover the sugary trap that most people assume is a healthy dairy snack. You'll be surprised by the truth behind flavored yogurt. Flavored yogurt is one of those foods that feels healthy but carries hidden consequences, especially for gut and muscle health. The real issue is the added sugar. Most small 6-ounce cups contain anywhere from 12 to 22 grams of sugar. That's up to 5 teaspoons. This sugar feeds harmful gut bacteria, damages the microbiome, and can reduce your ability to absorb important nutrients like magnesium and zinc, which are already harder to maintain with age. What's worse, many of these yogurts pretend to be high in protein, but they often come from low-fat milk thickened with additives like carrageenan or starch. That means they're low in actual casein, or whey, the proteins you need for muscle repair. Instead of a proper recovery snack, it's just a dessert disguised as health food. Are you eating yogurt thinking it's helping your body recover? Nutritionally, most flavored yogurts have only around 5 grams of protein per 6-ounce cup, while plain whole milk Greek yogurt can offer up to 16 grams. And those fruit on the bottom versions? Most don't contain real fruit, just fruit flavor esters or pureed sweetened concentrates. Many people fall into the trap of picking low-fat or fat-free options, assuming it's healthier, but fat is crucial for absorbing vitamins like D and calcium. Without it, you lose the benefits of the calcium the yogurt is supposed to provide. Instead of relying on misleading labels, build your own yogurt bowl. Take 3/4 of a cup of plain whole Greek yogurt. Mash in half a banana for natural sweetness. Mix 1 scoop of collagen peptides for joint and skin support. Add 2 tablespoons of chopped almonds for texture and healthy fat. And top it all with a dash of cinnamon to support blood sugar. This homemade bowl gives you about 22 grams of protein, low sugar, and loads of muscle-friendly nutrients. Through my years of treating older adults, switching from flavored to plain yogurt has made a dramatic difference in digestion, joint stiffness, and morning energy. One woman in her 70s told me her knees stopped aching after just a few weeks of eating full-fat Greek yogurt every day. Have you noticed any difference when switching from flavored to plain yogurt? Let me know your experience in the comments. Stick with me through the end because the last two foods we are covering play a powerful role in protecting muscle overnight. One of them works in a way most people never hear about, but it matters. From sweet deception to savory danger, next is a lunch staple many rely on, but it's filled with hidden chemicals. Let's cut into the salty truth about deli meats. Most types of deli meat are loaded with sodium, often reaching up to 1,000 milligrams per serving, which is close to half the daily recommended intake. That amount of sodium pulls water into the bloodstream, increasing blood pressure and promoting fluid retention. For older adults, especially those trying to manage hypertension or swelling in the legs and ankles, this becomes more than just a dietary issue. It starts affecting mobility and comfort in daily life. Have you ever felt unusually bloated or tight in your joints after what seemed like a harmless sandwich? That reaction may be your body responding to high-sodium foods like these. But sodium is not the only concern. Most deli meats also contain nitrates and nitrites, which are commonly added to preserve color and extend shelf life. These chemicals break down into nitrosamines in the body, compounds that researchers from the World Health Organization have linked to increased inflammation, nerve damage, and even cancer risk. What is even more alarming is that these compounds don't just harm general health. They interfere with neuromuscular signaling, which plays a key role in muscle control and repair, especially in people over the age of 60. If your muscle recovery feels slower than it used to, have you considered how processed meats could be interfering? Beyond chemical additives, the actual protein quality in many deli meats is disappointingly low. Manufacturers often inject meat with saline, starches, and fillers that boost weight and texture but dilute the essential nutrients your muscles need. While a 2-ounce serving might show 7 to 9 grams of protein on the label, that number does not reflect the real value because the amino acid content, especially leucine, is far too low to trigger muscle protein synthesis. Leucine acts like a switch that signals your body to start building and repairing muscle tissue. And if that switch never flips, no matter how much protein you eat, your muscles will not respond. Let's also point out how the wrong label assumptions can lead to poor choices. Many people buy oven-roasted turkey or ham, thinking it is healthier. But this term only describes the cooking method, not the ingredient quality. These versions are often just as full of preservatives and sodium as their smoked or honey-cured counterparts. Always check the ingredient list. Are you spotting things like modified food starch or soy protein isolate? These are signs the meat has been manipulated with non-nutritive fillers that weaken the nutritional profile even more. Have you ever thought about what all those hard-to-pronounce ingredients are doing inside your body? From what I have seen in my clinical experience, patients who reduce or completely remove processed deli meats often report less water retention, clearer skin, and even better digestion within weeks. Their energy levels during morning walks or workouts also improve, most likely because their body is no longer burdened by synthetic compounds or overloaded with salt. Now let's talk about smarter swaps that nourish muscles instead of stressing them. Grilled chicken wraps using whole wheat tortillas deliver high-quality complete proteins without chemical additives, and they also provide fiber to aid digestion. Tuna salad, made with avocado and lemon, is another powerful alternative that supplies omega-3 fatty acids, which help lower inflammation and support brain and joint health. Or try a lentil patty in a whole grain pita, which not only satisfies the need for protein, but also includes a full spectrum of amino acids when combined with grains. What is your go-to protein lunch, and do you think it gives your muscles what they need? If you're buying deli-style meats, there are safer ways to do it. Look for vacuum-sealed options rather than ones sliced at the counter where contamination can happen more easily. And go for brands that say nitrate-free and organic, which reduce your exposure to harmful preservatives. But the best choice by far is to cook your own chicken or turkey breast in bulk and slice it for sandwiches throughout the week. This way, you control what goes in your food and, more importantly, what stays out. Research from Johns Hopkins Medical School confirmed that older adults who consume processed meats regularly showed faster muscle decline and scored higher on frailty assessments. This connection should not be taken lightly. Muscle loss does not just reduce strength, it increases the risk of falls, injury, and long-term dependency. Now we will take a closer look at something most people have eaten for decades without thinking twice: refined white bread. It may seem harmless, especially when it is part of a sandwich or toast in the morning, but this staple can actually be a major barrier to healthy aging, especially if you are trying to hold on to strength and muscle as the years go by. Despite its popularity, refined white bread is stripped of almost all the nutrients your muscles and body need to function at their best. Most people do not realize that this kind of bread offers little more than empty calories and a quick spike in blood sugar. So, while it may feel satisfying in the moment, the long-term cost to your energy, muscle tone, and metabolism can be surprisingly high. Let's examine what really happens in your body when you eat refined white bread. During processing, white bread loses its fiber, vitamins, minerals, and the outer bran layer that contains antioxidants and essential nutrients. What is left behind is a product made mostly of refined starch. Once eaten, it turns to sugar in your bloodstream quickly, spiking insulin levels. That insulin spike may give you a short burst of energy, but it is usually followed by a crash in both energy and mood. This cycle makes you feel tired, sluggish, and often hungry again in just a couple of hours. Have you ever had toast or a sandwich and then felt like you needed a snack soon after? That could be your blood sugar rising and falling too fast. Now let's go further into the effects on muscle health. For adults over 60, every bite needs to count more than ever. Your body's ability to convert protein into lean muscle naturally declines with age, and fast carbs like those in white bread make this process even harder. When blood sugar is constantly elevated, it increases inflammation and raises cortisol levels. That extra cortisol not only breaks down muscle tissue, but also blocks the uptake of amino acids, the very building blocks your muscles need. So instead of rebuilding, your body starts to shift into preservation mode, making it harder to stay strong, lean, and energetic. Have you noticed more belly fat or softer muscles, even when your weight stays the same? White bread could be contributing more than you think. Let's look at another problem. Refined bread lacks fiber. Fiber slows down digestion, helps regulate blood sugar, and improves the absorption of nutrients like magnesium and zinc, which are essential for muscle repair. Without enough fiber, your digestion speeds up unnaturally, and important nutrients pass through before they can be used efficiently. Over time, this can cause nutrient deficiencies that impact not only muscle function, but also energy levels, sleep quality, and immune health. So, what type of bread do you normally keep at home? Could switching to a better one make a difference for you? It is also important to mention the impact of refined grains on sleep. What you eat throughout the day shapes the hormones your body produces at night. Refined carbohydrates like white bread raise blood sugar rapidly, and that spike triggers a flood of insulin, followed by a crash. This process stimulates adrenaline and cortisol, which are hormones that can interfere with your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. If you are waking up often at night or feeling groggy in the morning, your late-day carbohydrate choices might be to blame. Have you ever tracked how certain foods affect your sleep patterns? Many people assume that any bread labeled wheat is healthy, but that is not always the case. The food industry often labels refined white bread with words like enriched or wheat flour to make it sound more nutritious. but unless the label specifically says 100% whole grain or includes seeds, bran, and visible fiber, chances are it is still a highly processed bread. I have had many clients who thought they were making a healthier switch by choosing multigrain bread, only to realize it was mostly made from refined flour with just a sprinkle of seeds on top. Have you ever checked the label on your bread to see what kind of flour is listed first? If not, take a moment today to look. You might be surprised. Let's move on to better alternatives that support your muscles and keep blood sugar stable. One of the best swaps is sprouted grain bread, which contains more protein, fiber, and vitamins than traditional bread. Because the grains are soaked and sprouted before baking, the nutrients become easier to absorb, and the glycemic impact is much lower. That means less inflammation, steadier energy, and better recovery from physical activity. Another great option is sourdough bread made from whole grains. The fermentation process in sourdough breaks down some of the gluten and phytic acid, which improves digestion and makes minerals like magnesium and iron more bioavailable. Have you ever tried sprouted or fermented breads? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you are looking for even simpler replacements, try using a slice of roasted sweet potato as the base for an open-faced sandwich. It offers complex carbs, natural sweetness, potassium, and fiber, all while supporting hydration and muscle function. Another excellent alternative is whole grain wraps made with oats, flax seeds, or legumes. These are not only higher in protein and fiber, but also rich in plant-based omega-3s that reduce inflammation. Your meals should not just taste good, they should support your body's recovery every time you eat. What is your go-to sandwich base these days? Drop a comment below if you are thinking of trying something new. Now we advance to a simple yet powerful physical habit that can help preserve muscle and support nighttime recovery. Let's take a closer look at resistance band movements before bed. Adding light resistance exercises 30 to 45 minutes before sleep offers more than just physical activation. Gentle tension wakes up muscle fibers and stimulates blood flow, which brings in nutrients and clears away metabolic waste. This primes the muscles for rest and healing without creating fatigue or stress on the joints. That is key for older adults who need recovery, not exertion, late in the day. These movements also encourage the release of natural growth hormone and testosterone, both of which work their hardest during sleep. Unlike high-intensity workouts, these low-impact movements activate key areas without pushing the body into stress. The idea is to prepare the muscles for deep recovery, not break them down. A simple evening routine might include 2 sets each of standing resistance rows, glute bridges with a band, seated band leg presses, and overhead stretches. The whole session can be done in just 5 to 7 minutes. If balance is an issue, many of these moves can be done seated, and using light bands with handles provides more control. Breathing deeply and exhaling during the resistance phase also enhances relaxation and oxygen delivery. What kind of movement does your body respond best to at night? I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let's wrap things up with a quick checklist you can use each evening. Skip sugary cereals and start your morning with oats and protein. Avoid rice cakes and instead choose snacks with high protein and fiber. Ditch artificially flavored yogurts and make your own Greek mix with nuts and berries. Say no to sodium-heavy deli meats and prepare your own clean protein at home. Replace evening alcohol with calming, body-friendly drinks, and add a few resistance band movements before bed to support better sleep and stronger muscles. If this helped you think differently about your evening routine, give it a like, share it with someone who could benefit, and hit subscribe. Next time, we will look at another common daily habit that may be silently working against you. Stay tuned, because this next one might really surprise you.